We kind of talked about old channels before.
Yeah, I think we've already gone through
Yeah.
that. What our favorite like old videos were.
That was the first pilot. That was the pilot episode.
You didn't talk to him. Talk to him.
All right.
All right.
Alright, he did.
Alrighty, if you
The
want.
capital lies before us, my friend. On a somber place, it seems, and one that holds the answers to many a mystery. I too have felt the pull of this place, though I now sit and I find myself hesitant to descend. Is it fear, I wonder, or something else that holds me back?
Again, my favorite video ever that any of us has ever made is Silas's cereal video. That is the best video.
It's the first video we ever made. Also,
It is so funny though, dude.
I personally, deep down, I kind of loathe that video because that humor is so predictable, and it's just like, let's add something weird.
Wait, let's wait. What would you typically not put in cereal? And that
Honestly, dude, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting you to just fucking.
that was before the Tide Pod challenge. Also, you were ahead of your
Yeah,
game with that
Silas,
one.
You were.
And oh wait, I can't fix the nail yet because I need the money. Damn it! All right, well,
How much money do you need?
I need 1,800
Oh my God.
geo for the lantern, and I need like 500 or something if I want to fix the nail and make it stronger.
Just fix the nail now.
Yeah, do the nail
And
now.
just
Fuck
get the-
fuck the lantern.
Yeah, you can get the. You can
Yeah.
always grind for the lantern later.
And it'll make it easier to get more money.
It is really hard to grind in this section of the game. If we didn't skip that first section, we would have more money. But
gonna pee.
all right.
Okay, good luck in there.
Thank you.
What was I gonna say? When it comes to like old humor, sometimes I cringe at it, but I'm still glad that people like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
I definitely you go whenever you look back on your old cringe, you
You
have
hate
like a
it
yeah
more.
yeah you have a phase of where you hate it, and then you have a second phase where you find it endearing and just like, okay, isn't that bad.
how do you feel about other people's cringe? How do you feel about like our cringe videos?
I don't necessarily feel like we have any videos that you guys have any videos that are like that bad that I look at and I'm like, oh my god, why did they upload this? 'Cause like I said, it's just like, oh my god, only 250. I feel like it's mostly just like endearing. I was like, oh, we were like fucking kids when we made this. So
Sometimes,
we all did it too, which is, you know, it's a relatable thing.
sometimes when I look back,
Man, thanks for wishing me luck, dude.
Because
of your Irish luck, I didn't get my willy blown up by a gator.
sometimes when I look back at old storyline concepts, I cringe a bit, honestly, which is normal. But sometimes I think like, oh, God. But at the same time, at the same time, in the back of my mind, I was like, no one remembers but me though.
Remember the original idea for my character? I remember the original idea was whenever we met and you were like, oh, this guy can draw good, I should have him help me with my game. My original idea for my character was I was going to be a cool old blacksmith. Now, when you play the game and you see what the actual character is based off of me, it's like not even in the same realm. I
Yeah.
also imagined it would before you had like the art style or anything nailed down. I always imagined it would look like Oblivion, like just like a traditional like fucking RPG. Not as like crazy wild art style as it is now.
I would definitely like to see a redesign of my character if ever possible, Silas.
Lucas?
Yes.
I think that is the redesign.
A yellow T-shirt.
I think he looks perfect as is because, look, Aiden, I'll be completely honest. Lucas is the most fun character for me to draw. I have so much fun whenever I draw.
That's the only emote on the Discord.
It is. I'm making more for other ones eventually.
All right, that makes me happy. If you're happy with drawing him, then that makes me happy.
It's because you're, out of all the characters I imagine, you're going to be the most expressive character. I draw you like whenever I draw your boss fight sprites, it's like a pizza tower character.
That's awesome, Silas.
It was kind of funny. There was this one time I drew all of our like protagonists next to each other, and I kind of realized they all looked the exact same, and I was like, oh, because I designed all of them. And there's like a certain design that I just like, and so they all look the same. Other than Cat, but like all the other ones, I'm like, wait a minute.
I realized that too recently. Like whenever I'm remaking like sprites.
I'm like, wait a minute, they've all got like high-waisted pants and like jackets and like a fucking like tucked-in T-shirt. What the fuck?
I had noticed that like all of them have a similar design too, and that's what I think you guys probably seen it. But I try making everybody looks kind of unique now. I feel I do have the idea in mind about the characters growing like their designs if there ever was sequels. Like I know I have like a kind of like an end goal on what designs look like. Like Irwin's hair, that's the character Damien has.
Mm-hmm.
I make it like I gave him kind of like what's it called? Just kind of like fuzzy hair, because I want to make it where he has like a cool, kind of like an '80s fro.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, kind of like '80s, like really like fuzzy long hair.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Lucas is gonna have like a soul patch eventually.
That'd be funny.
I keep that stuff in mind for sure.
Hey, the more we talk about this, the more I realize I've drawn like half of the shit that we're talking about, like at one point or another. Like I remember I made like designs for like later versions of all the characters and different stuff like that.
I have them all saved. I have an archive of all the art.
Dude, I'm just really excited for the game. Whenever it's released, whenever the beta comes out, I can't wait to kick my own ass.
You have a really fun boss fight, I feel like, in concept at least. I designed kind of the idea of it. Like, all the boss fights in the game are going to be designed around, like, because the whole point of it is, like, you get to pick your moveset for, like, fights. So I made it where, like, bosses have a certain moveset design that you need to figure out in order to do them, like, good.
You could just brute force it and do the whatever,
whatever
fucking moveset that you just like, or you could figure out and be like, oh, I can this has this attack pattern, so this weapon will
whenever I
have an advantage.
To test them, I will make it where every combination is possible, just hard.
Yeah.
So I will play test everything for you. If you send me like an early demo, I can and will play test everything.
When I get stuff that I can finally do that, I will definitely send you and Damien stuff. I don't know.
Nice.
If Caden doesn't have a thing to play it on, so. But what was I gonna say about that shit? I was gonna say that the way that I like designed it, yeah, I want to make it where it's. I hate when games make it when you can just brute force stuff. I like things when. Jeez, I'm about to die. I like it in games when you can like switch out stuff. Like you're like, oh, I should do this instead for this round, and then you do it, and then it's like it's easier. You feel smart.
You know something that I think about sometimes that's freaky? Huh. If we ever do get popular, like either Silas's game, this channel, or something, people are gonna like draw fan art of us.
I've accepted.
And that's a weird thing to think of. I don't know why.
There is some fan art of Storyline. I don't think I've.
What?
Really?
What the fuck?
Not like online, really.
Just like
mostly people that I met mostly who like some of the designs and like. Oh,
Silas, you gotta show us this shit, man.
Let me show you one.
I've posted.
I won't throw it on screen.
I've posted a few things.
That's so fucking cool, Silas.
I made a drawing of all the Sismus crew characters.
You did. That was a really nice one. I like that one.
What was the Sismus crew?
That was
my little book.
The book he made. That's also in the Storyline universe.
They're referencing the thing. Where is it?
It was based off of the D&D.
I remember. Yeah, I read like the first chapter or two.
You're Adam Blank.
I am Adam Blank.
My guy was Gaylord.
You just called him G though.
Yeah. I remember it was funny. You were like, guys, who's gonna play like the main character for our
But the gimmick is his name has to be Gaylord.
Yeah.
Damien, while we're waiting here, throw up a funny image.
Nice.
Just so that way people aren't bored. Yeah. Oh my God, look at him go. Jesus Christ, God. Dude's got them schmoos.
There it is.
God damn. Hey, Damien, take that down. Damien, no, you can't put that out there.
I'm scared of the fan art stuff a bit.
I've got a fan art of one of my characters.
You do?
No, it was an art trade.
Oh, yeah.
Cooley Exidium drew my guy, and I drew one of his characters.
Cool. You need to tell the story of him.
I will tell the story of Lee Exidium, because this is a fantastic man. So, I was on Instagram Reels one day, checking out the different what have you, and I stumble upon, so on Instagram you can do like, what do you call it? Like promotion things, where basically you like pay money and then you can have like your whatever post you want show up as like an ad on like different people's feed, and it's like more likely to be seen. And I saw one of those for this like artist or this like page, and the art was very akin to like 14-year-old like cringe like anime art.
Toad.
like cringe like anime art like that you would see. And I was like, wow, this is like really bad. And then I looked at the page, and I was like, this is interesting. Not much like to see here though, and I kept seeing these like little ads, and eventually, like, I saw them enough that I would like look at the page every once in a while, and this guy just kept posting like this like kind of like cringe art, and I was like, why is this dude posting this art? Who he think he is? One day, this account posts this, like, I think it's like a Littlest Pet Shop character or something, and then it's like, this is my favorite drawing that I've ever done because I drew this with like my daughter. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this guy's old enough to have a daughter? And then eventually he makes a video that's something along the lines of like, I have no artistic talent. He's like, this is like a 30-year-old man. He's like, I have no artistic talent, but I've started practicing drawing because I want to go on this like journey of improvement, and like I want to show that like even though I have no like artistic talent, I can still like make a comic. And I was like, that is the most badass shit I've ever seen, and I followed the account after that.
Fuck you, asshole!
That was definitely through.
What the fuck? He died anyways.
Nice. And this guy's like story is like his fucking like wife like leaves him, and but like throughout all this like shit that happens to him, like he still like is like trying to improve his art, and he like posts like all the time and different stuff. And if you look at like, and he starts going to like art school as well, and he's still in it at this point, and he's like started posting like chapters for this comic that he's making called Exidium.
I haven't seen any of his like actual like comic work yet. I've only seen he does a lot of art reference stuff.
Yeah, and so yeah, he'll post like his different like projects from art school and all that. And if you look at like the first like things that he posts versus like the later things, he's actually like gotten a lot better. And so like the fucking it's working. Like he's like getting better. Like there's a couple times that he's posted something, I've been like, oh god damn, that's really good, you know. And it's like really like cool to see. And I reached out to him because I think he's awesome, and I was like, hey, let's do an art trade. And so I was like what's funny is I was like, hey, I've got like characters that I post on my thing, and we should like just do an art trade. You pick a character, I pick a character. What's funny is he picked the character that is going to be the main character of like the thing I'm making, and I picked the thing that's like the main character of the thing he's making. And it just like happened that way.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
that's a great story, man.
It is pretty great.
Lovely. His stuff is great.
Mm-hmm.
He posted something earlier today.
He posts like every day, I think. Usually just like a little sketch, a little doodle.
It's once a week.
No, it's like I think it's every day, or I don't know. It goes in and out of consistency.
You guys remember that one comic thing that we tried to do?
War for Ryuba?
Yes, that one.
We'll talk.
Should we talk about it?
We can talk about that next.
I think we can talk about it. Yeah.
So, where do you begin with this?
All right. So basically,
you start, Aiden, because you got us into this.
I found this video where this guy talks about the craziest comic series ever called War for Ryuba. Basically, what it is you create an original character by yourself with a group or whatever. And basically, you join this Discord server, and you make a comic fighting this like other person's OC character, and you have to like come up with a good argument for why your character would win. You know, like they don't even have to win like by defeating them. They could win by simply like making them friends or like something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you could go like any route that you want.
They can go any route, and basically the more popular comic wins, and that becomes canon in that universe. And basically I was like, oh my god, this sounds so cool. We should make a character, but I'm not artistically talented enough to do that. So I basically hired Rain, Silas, and Damien to help me draw this character. That we came up with a bunch of characters. I don't remember what his name was.
Vincent Gatsby.
Vincent Gatsby, that's right. Do you still have the fucking...
The art for it?
I have it.
I have the concept art and like the cool...
Dude, put him up right now. I fucking love him.
We got together one day and we designed this guy, and like we got a whole like backstory for him.
His power is that he like inscribes runes onto cards, and he can like We should point out like the creative process for it, because it's
two big moments from there. One thing is that, like, whenever we were making the character, one of the things that we
didn't want to make him too overpowered.
Yeah, whenever we saw other characters, we thought, like, you know, they would make, oh, this is a god who could stop time and kill it instantly. We were like, that's boring.
Yeah, we want to make someone who's like probably weak by comparison to most of these people.
Who actually has to like fight to win his fights, not just like.
We were making a cool character that had the.
He had to think through his battles rather than just
kind of like a JoJo character.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that we kept going back to.
Or like
what idea?
Like the character has like one ability that works really well, or like a kind of a variety of abilities or something.
We wrote down all of what his runes do, like all what his cards.
Yeah, he has like a multitude of runes, and like he has like a certain amount per day for like per fights. That way, you know.
Yeah,
like,
so it doesn't get overpowered.
So it doesn't just spam him.
Yeah.
And we also made sure that we gave him like traditional weapons, I think.
Oh yeah, he's got like a cane sword, like just as like a backup weapon.
He doesn't use it very often, and we gave him a mask.
In a pinch.
We gave him a mask. I think this is a really cool character trait. We gave him a mask, and he like wears it when he's starting to lose, you know, and he like needs like a boost of confidence, and he puts on like a fake persona behind it. I think that's pretty. I think that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, so the character that we made are also random is just like a cool like character concept.
I ain't gonna get fucking killed
like
these
he's
things.
He in comparison to like a lot of other people that you might meet is just like a straight up wuss basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made him into a flawed character with places to go.
Mm-hmm.
And
no.
Aw, tough.
Death number 4, right?
Yeah.
And I was really hoping that we could do something with it, but by the time we joined, it was like basically over, right?
No.
This is where I left off. I don't remember exactly what happened after, but we'll let Damien take over.
So we got the character, we got his backstory, we got his powers and all that. Then we got all the prerequisites, then they do like on this like event they do.
There was a Discord.
Yeah, there's a Discord that you join, and then there's like multiple. The event happens like multiple times, so there's multiple rounds basically. So you're able to. You're not. It's not like you're able to join at different points, so it's not like. But there is a limited number of slots, and so we submitted our character, did everything, and we didn't get in. So we did all that work for essentially nothing.
I still think he's a great character, and I would love to make like a mini comic off him or something.
Yeah, the world that we came up with.
The intro for him, I think it was pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
The little thing I wrote.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we said, like the character concept design idea,
we made him
backstory, everything is
made him like in debt
cool.
to like this mafia, you know.
Yeah, and in order to pay off the debt, he has to fight in the war.
Yeah, the war for Ryuba.
I can't even go this way, damn it!
The other thing with War for Ryuba is based off this comic called Kill 6 Billion Demons.
That's right. You read a bit of it, so you can like kind of.
I read the whole thing. I later came back and read the whole thing, and I still read it. It comes out every once in a while. This comic is the fucking craziest world that I have ever like seen in like anything. It is like off the walls, fucking. Oh my god! I'll have to like throw up screenshots because like the art.
Yeah, you said that this guy makes like. The guy who made it it's like a week, and then you see like huge fucking drawings, like very detailed drawings or something like that.
Yeah, the fucking every page just has like so much shit packed into it. It's like insane, like the level of detail and all these things. It takes, I can't imagine how fucking long it takes to like make all of this. And on top of that, the world building is insane. Like every conversation is just like exposition, like not in a bad way. It's just like, oh yeah, now we're in this area and this happened, because like the world is just so detailed that's like the only way you'd be able to like get all of this like information to the reader. And there's this big war that happens partway through the book, and that's when the War for Ryuba fucking story comes into it.
Is it a multiverse story, and that's why there's
yeah
that's kind of the idea. There's like I can't exactly remember, but there's the world is huge, and there's like all sorts of different like creatures and everything, so it's very easy to just like have like, I don't know, any type of character basically.
Man, I really still wish that we were able to participate at least once, because dude,
there's a similar thing called Art Fight, though it's not as cool, I guess. Because, Art Fight is just you get two OCs and you pin them together. This is like you get into a fucking comic lore.
Mm-hmm.
But, I really like the idea.
I think we could still use him for something, whether it's in like a
Again, he's a decent character.
yeah.
We could definitely put him in something.
I don't think he'd really fit in my thing.
No, that's fine. But I'm saying like we can make.
He'd fit in.
It might fit in like a Crimiverse. From I don't know with what I'm imagining.
Again, we
be.
could just make a different comic
Oh yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
it is
you know?
true. Yeah,
He doesn't have to fit into the storyline universe.
yeah.
I'm just saying he would be an interesting character in general.
In something.
Because he just, I think he's pretty good. He has like a good depth to him.
That's what I thought was really interesting. Just making him a character, not like making
Not
him
just like a weapon, basically.
Yeah, not making him just like, all right, I can do some cool ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, but who are you? Why are you interesting?
If you guys are interested in this, let us know. We might post that little one-off story that Silas wrote about him.
Mm-hmm.
You can always just draw it, Damien.
I could.
Unless you want to come back here.
I've been needing something to practice art on for comics. Could just do a fucking one shot for the Vincent Gatsby thing.
Right.
You already have the script written out.
That's true.
All right.
That's
fellas. A markers.
So where are we going next, Silas?
All right. So
Did we get everything out of the city already?
That's all the stuff we can work with.
For
right
now. Yeah.
All right. That's the Soul Sanctum. That place is kind of hard. I like to have all our stuff before we go there. This area here. This is the mine area. I need a light for it.
Mm-hmm.
I need the light or the ground pound, but it's good to have a light. That's the grub area. We don't need that. That's the crab boss. I don't want to fight that.
I mean, might as well go to the grubs.
We could. You know what? We would get money for the grubs.
We get a bunch of baller shit from the grubs right now.
Oh wait, I can also,
Get some thug.
because we don't have that much money anyways. We can get the map, I believe. Yeah, we can.
Nice.
That way, that's filled in. We need to go to the mine area if we want to get the dream nail.
Ooh. Hey.
What's this one, Aiden?
Pale thing, you wear that nail with ease. If you're in search of combat, you'll need no great warrior in decaying burrow. I've heard of an arena exists somewhere below, one built for our like. Meet me there and we'll test what skills you possess. I'll be heading down soon. Come and find me if you dare.
I only ever beat the first 2 rooms of that arena.
I beat the first room, the second room gave me a challenge. I think I beat it maybe. But the third room I couldn't fucking do.
Yeah, I definitely didn't beat the
I
third
never
one.
beat the third one. You
Oh,
don't
damn.
need to.
Yeah, it's
You don't get anything out of it. You get a thing called like the mark of the fool,
mm-hmm.
and then you get money. But you need to beat the second one if you want to get a full level nail.
Yeah.
And we will do those. Those are helpful.
Grubs.
Yeah, although
6, 7? That's pretty good.
8.
It's 8. All the grubs we find come here, and the guy and the elder grub gives us stuff.
He's like, thank you for finding my children.
And he gives you.
Different shards, and he gives you.
Oh yeah, we haven't collected any shards yet.
Oh my god, my tummy. Oh my goodness.
Alright, not as bad as I thought. I'm at the jump. Ah. The other funny little thing was project-wise. It was fun to talk about. Oh yeah, by the way, you can go up here, but we can't do anything without the dream nail.
I have the comic that I'm making, but I don't know if there's anything interesting with that.
I'm making a comic?
Yeah.
What is it
I don't
about?
talk about it that much.
Because Damien wants to wait until he has like a certain skill before making it.
Yeah. My art skill is not what I want it to be to make it. I think I need to be better, and but I'm also still working on the world. I'm still not even like fully satisfied. I've got it like mostly down,
Good.
but
Oh, we could go. Yeah, we don't need a bad shot.
I've been like kind of like just like working on the world building for like probably a couple of years now, just trying to make sure I the big thing that I want is I just want it to be like solid. I don't want like annoying like plot holes and other like different things. So I'm just like trying to put the time in to make sure that it's cohesive and that the world makes
you get
sense.
A bunch of it's geode up there.
There's some geo up there. I like going up there when I finally get the double jump. Because there's a whole fucking section up here.
I've come up with like a couple of like like
That leads down to those
magic
jellyfish
systems, I think are pretty decent. I'm not gonna say they're great, but I think they have interesting ideas.
The hardest thing about magic systems is Damien always says it. You need to make limitations.
Otherwise, it's just like
You can do anything.
Same with the Vincent Gatsby thing. If you're like too overpowered, it's boring.
Like, if everyone's overpowered, nobody is.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point in watching that? What's the point of caring about the average citizen in something when everybody's overpowered? And, that's usually like, who cares about what the average character would think? But it's like, well, are you a superpowered god? No. So you'd probably relate to, a guy who works in a ramen shop more than, like, I don't know, fucking Darth Vader.
I came up with, I think, 2 funny magic systems. The first one is like, there's like ancient monsters that like hold like elemental powers, and they like, if you like win their trial or something, like pass their trials, you get like enchant like a piece of equipment with like their enchantment,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool,
Mm-hmm.
I like to imagine there's like this sailing group called the Rock Lobsters, and the main ship captain has the power of rock music. I know that's not an element, but fuck you. And the entire time as they're raiding your party, you just hear Rock Lobster being blasted like on a bunch of different instruments. Like, wouldn't you not be terrified of that? You're just fucking shipping around, and then all of a sudden you just hear Rock Lobster, and your ship gets boarded by like 100 men, just all like stabbing and like slicing.
That's
really,
great.
a really dumb idea, or dumb thing that I did, I remember once, was I made a fucking Earthbound parody of Rock Lobster. And that's all on my channel, but I remember I made that. So
I think the reason I don't talk about the comic that I'm making is, if I
you like having stuff to show. I bet is one of them.
Do you get down
here this way?
the fucking
I guess so.
most of the world is going to like I can't talk about a lot of the world because the point is that you're not supposed to know about it, so it's a spoiler if I like mention most of it. And also like I keep changing my mind about shit. Like I thought of like a concept for a power the other day, and I'm like, that doesn't fit with it. So do I scrap this really cool idea, or do I like restructure the way that the powers work? And so there are a lot of moments like that where I'm like, well, how much do I like this idea, or am I willing to kind of let go?
Get out of the way. All right.
I think I came up with this is my most recent idea for a magic system. I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So like, basically it's a world of like wizards and shit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And like the premise is like, you can cast any spell you can think of, but you're limited to like a few rules. Number 1, you have to like cast like runes, kind of like Naruto and their hand signs,
Yeah.
You gotta cast like a certain runes, like certain combinations to like actually cast that spell.
Is Geo to the bottom left of you?
Bottom left.
And like,
Yeah, go down there.
Did some fall down here?
basically you just like cast runes to cast spells, and you can like do like different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can like write down like pre-made runes on scrolls, and you can like use those to cast spells.
Or you could do them on the spot, and it's like tension. Or whatever.
Yeah, it's like harder to do because you need to like do it as fast as you can. And I came up with an idea called, well, like, you do cantrips basically, where like if you master a spell good enough, you can just cast it without a rune. But it takes like, the harder the spell or more complicated it is, the longer it takes to actually master.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows like how powerful like a certain wizard can be, by like what they know. And I think one of my favorite concepts for this thing is there's just going to be a guy with like just covered in tattoos of runes.
Mm-hmm.
And he just casts spell after spell, but it hurts him like more and more because like each time like you cast a spell, like you're supposed to burn up the scroll, but it just burns him,
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty funny idea. Again, I'm not going to say it's perfect because, again, I just thought of this like a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's somewhat interesting. You could do a bunch of different things with it.
Whenever I think of a power system, I fucking the comic that is gonna be like a fucking like battle manga, so it's like cool fights and stuff. So power creep is something that I don't want to be a problem. And so I have to make sure that you can like get stronger with these powers, but not exponentially, or if it is exponentially, it's really fucking hard, because power creep is annoying. And
I think my least favorite power system, if I'm being honest, is Naruto, because you get promised so much in like the first season, you know, like all the the Zabuza arc where they're both like on the water, him and Kakashi.
that is like the best scene in
That's
the entire
so fucking
series.
great. That's so good.
That's how the whole thing should be.
And they do nothing else with that, not like that. After like during Shippuden, it's just like, okay, well I have this different form.
Yeah, they drop the hand signals
No,
and then
no,
they just start having like magical mech battles.
And you're just like, well, it doesn't. It like it's still Naruto, but it didn't feel the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just watching two big guys fight now. There's no like actual tension, you know? Like again, during the Zabuza fight, the only reason Naruto and Sasuke won is because one, they worked together, used their brains and were smart about it. And two, Zabuza underestimated them. And that's how they won the fight, not because fucking Naruto is a god and knows just the Rasengan or whatnot. He used his brain. And I think that's what makes that it just makes me kind of miss like the first season of Naruto again, because like watching them fight in like the tournament arc, you know, against all the other ninja, you're like, oh my god, what are they gonna do, you know? It's just it just kind of sucks, man.
Yeah.
Perfectly honestly, my magic system is literally kind of based on Ninjago's, where like each character
Nice.
like each character is like a part. Like, you know, there's 8 types of magic humans can use, and you basically get one magic power for like your entire life. You're completely constricted to that one type. You can learn other like little stuff like either healing magic or like, you know, light magic or dark magic, but you will always be a fire user. You can't change that.
Like it's like Avatar also.
Yeah, Ninjago's just the one that I got inspired from because I never watched Avatar. So.
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of stuck to do one thing, and I make the power scaling based on like, all right, there's literally gods who are like, you know, part of this prophecy. There's gods that are like kind of a part of this prophecy, and they'll obviously be like the ones who do all this cool shit, and like everybody else is like, there will be stories about other characters that aren't like the main characters, but other characters are like, they can only get so strong. And there's some characters in like lore who are like upset, like, how come I can't do all this cool shit?
I think
Stuff like that. Like, there's some characters that would like, they want to be strong, but they can't be strong, so they have to like learn how to use their magic in a smart way, so they don't like fucking die because they're weak.
I think that's why JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is
I was gonna mention that.
one of my favorite anime of all time, because everyone's stand does like something really like specific and unique to themselves, that like you have to use your power creatively in order to win, you know?
Yeah.
I was gonna mention that with the power creep also, is that because they each like chapter of JoJo, or each part of JoJo has like a new cast of characters, so power creep like doesn't exist. Like, you don't even like need to worry about it.
I mean, it kind of happens in like part 6.
Like, yeah, whenever there's like a little bit of like overlap with the characters, like, oh, this character is from an old part, then you can.
I mean, they had to reset the universe completely because of the power creep in part 6.
A little bit, but they don't necessarily up the stakes each time. It's just like a different contained story in this world, and then there's sometimes, you know, character overlap.
Like
But really
in one season, it's like, oh, this vampire's just trying to kill my mother, and then the next story is like, I just want to be in charge of fucking the Italian mob boss. And then the story before that was literally just,
I just want to have a quiet, nice life.
I just want to live a quiet, nice life. And I think that's
then hilarity ensues.
Yep, and hilarity ensues. But I just think that works so well for like that system, because like if everyone could stop time, then like
yeah, if everyone's power was like busted, then it wouldn't be interesting. But you give like the antagonist the busted power, and then all of your like main characters have to try to figure out how to fucking overcome that. That's like
how do you use your powers to overcome that, and that's like really interesting. It's so cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, part 4, that power's kind of busted. I'm not gonna say it's like the strongest, but it's pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's no way Killer Queen is like weaker than fucking Crazy Diamond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause like,
Yeah, if the main character has like a busted power, then the antagonist is just even more broken. You know?
Yeah. The way that this isn't spoilers. This is literally kind of explained at the very start of the game. The way that I make Cat is that her power, her little special power. There's like 4 special powers out of that only her race can get. She can control time. She doesn't know how.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of her problem. She doesn't know how to control time, so her powers feels kind of useless. But when she does learn how to use it, it's like, it would make her overpowered. But the problem is that the villain, he can use any magic type. That means he can use it, like, he has access to every single weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all that stuff. And the way that I try to make her, like, interesting is just, instead of making really, really powerful enemies, I make enemies with a specific targeted weakness. Eventually I want to make a thing down the line where a villain, instead of using magic, he uses something like, the lack of magic, something that can get rid of magic.
wasn't that like Nick's character, right?
What?
Like he was just gonna be like a brawler with a bare fist, and he was just gonna kick your ass.
That's kind of like what the fuck is it called?
Toji?
Black Clover
Black
is
Clover, yeah.
that kind of concept where our main character has no magic, and in this world set with everyone has magic, the main character has no magic. What he has is anti-magic, and that is so useful in so many different situations because he can deflect shit back at people. He can absorb magic and then redirect it, and just the application of having anti-magic is just such a interesting idea in a world set with so much magic.
Okay, so have you guys seen or read Unordinary, the comic, the webcomic?
No.
All right,
That's never mind. Keep going.
So the premise of it is everyone has a superpower except our main, except for very few people. Kind of like My Hero, right? Almost everyone has a power except a few people. Okay.
Yeah.
The main character's best friend has time stop abilities, but then later on she loses that ability and has to learn how to be an ordinary person. And later we find out that the main character has the most busted ability ever, but just never used it because in his old school he abused his power and beat the shit out of everyone. And then his dad wrote a book for him and tried to teach him to be good. And through the entire time, you're rooting for John because he's the good guy. But as soon as he starts using his power again, he starts turning into a bad guy, and you kind of start rooting against him because and it's really interesting because they use that power dynamic shift, to make you go, oh my god, this guy really isn't that good.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting. And I wish more things did. I wish more media did something like that. If you guys. Damien, I think you guys would love Unordinary. It's so good. It's on Webtoons. I haven't finished it, but dude, it's nuts.
You know what the best webtoon is? Scoob and Shag.
I love Scoob and Shag.
Have you read the whole thing?
No.
You need to read the whole thing. That's when it gets good.
I gotta read the whole thing. Never mind, I don't have to read the whole thing. We do have to watch all Scooby-Doo media though. We have to do that.
We have to do it for research.
We have to do it.
At least or if at the very least we somehow divvy it up. But
I don't think we have to.
Damien, you said we have to be accurate.
Did I say that?
You said we have to be accurate.
We'll talk about that some other time. We'll talk about that later.
I was gonna say about fucking magic systems.
Scooby-Doo Reviews. Remember that name. Scooby-Doo Reviews. Remember that name.
Don't forget.
Fine, we'll fight the fucking hardest boss.
You're gonna fight the crab?
No, we're gonna fight the Soulcaster. The magic priest guy.
Oh yeah, that guy. Dude, that's the guy I stumbled upon right away, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this is. And I was like, ah!
He is the scariest fucking fight. Actually, wait, I should set up my charms if I can.
Were you gonna say something about magic systems?
I was trying to figure out what I want to say about them. We're not gonna need.
I can say, I think we touched on this earlier, but I was gonna say, in general, I feel like
Why are
hard
you
magic
doing that?
Remember
systems,
B and A switch?
I know. I
Are-
thought we would get rid. There we go.
hard magic systems are a little cooler than soft magic systems, and hard and soft
Well-
meaning like, soft is like,
I'd get rid of thorns and just put the fairy on.
Thorns will be kind of useful.
it's a good example of a
Alright.
soft magic system.
Like Harry Potter.
Yeah, somewhat. Where basically they're just like flinging magic at each other, and there's no real explanation of how they're doing it. It's just like, oh, they were born being able to use magic.
They also just have like a beam versus a different color beam,
Yeah,
and like that doesn't make the fight as interesting.
yeah. But there's no like source of the magic. They don't like get tired. They don't need like specific stuff. It's just like, okay, yeah, can you use magic? Okay, good. Now, do you know these spells? Good. Okay, now you can do anything.
Yeah, if you know a word, like if you said a word, you can instantly kill anybody
Mhm.
in the entire universe, and they don't use it.
I feel like
Harry Potter magic is so fucking stupid. You can,
So that's a soft magic system. It's just like mostly for like the spectacle is what you would use a soft magic system for.
It's just there for the setting. It's not there for any like for the actual battles.
That's what a lot of Ghibli movies use as well as soft magic systems. It's just these characters who are just like doing things, and it's just supposed to like be cool and
And I-
mystical.
It's supposed to be cool. Huh?
And I definitely think it works better as like more for like the setting, you know, like not for
Yeah.
like an actual battle anime or anything like that, you know, because then like
Or we could go to the sewers.
unless the battle anime is
And
more
sewers
like
would suck without the thing.
just like straight up spectacle for like straight up animation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even then, like it's not as entertaining.
And then hard magic systems are means that like you need a very specific
Yeah.
set of circumstances to be able to use said magic.
Or you have like restrictions set upon you if you have magic.
So Nen from Hunter x Hunter is a good one
That
for
is
that. Dude,
Objectively, one of the best power systems ever.
Because with Nen, you make a contract, and it can be fucking anything.
No,
For
you
one.
don't. You don't have to make a contract.
You don't
You don't have to. You only do that if you want to make your thing more powerful.
Okay, yeah. So like this is the way that I want my magic to work, and then you train it to be like that. And there's different types of magic users.
There's like
that gives them different advantages. or
there's 6
abilities and
different
stuff.
like different sets, and you're like born into one, you know.
Yeah.
And like you can train into other ones, but like they will be less effective,
Yeah.
like depending on the Nen chart. And there's like
So you need to train with it for one. You need to like create it. You need to do all this stuff, and then if you want it to be more powerful, you have to enter into a contract, and it's usually a pretty like heavy price for like
a lot
okay.
of characters don't really use contracts.
The character who famously did that is like, okay, I can become like super powerful and I can use all of like the magic types, but only against like literally 10 people.
These certain few people, and if I use it against anyone else, I will literally die.
Yeah.
And it makes him like really powerful.
And that's cool because now when you watch this thing, you're like, okay, I know this character can get more powerful if this happens. Like, oh my god, that character showed up. That means that he can use it. You know, that kind of thing. I like hard magic systems because I think the payoff is
It adds tension.
it adds tension. And the payoff is usually just better because you're like, oh, your character like worked for this, or oh, this it adds tension. Like
These circumstances actually happened for this to work, you know?
Yeah. And you can still have the spectacle and be a hard magic system at the same time. There's this book series I really like, Stormlight Archive, and one of the opening like prologues is that it's just this like fight scene between this character who has what's called what's called a wind runner, and it lets them like fly around and use different like gravitational magic to like fly around or stick other things like objects, that kind of thing. And then so we see like, okay, that's like the spectacle. We see this character use all these crazy shit, and then over the course of the book, we switch to this other character who's also becomes a wind runner.
Fuck you! I hate these guys.
And we slowly see him learn the
Fuck
magic
you.
system. So we see the spectacle in the beginning, and you're like, oh my god, this like is some like crazy stuff that they can do.
Enough.
And then over the course of the
Alright.
book, we see how it's done, and I think that's really cool. So that gives you like both sides of like the spectacle and the like makes sense and the tension and all that. I think I really like that. It's really cool. So that's what I'm trying to go for with my comic series, is hard magic systems that make sense and are cool.
Yeah,
But
I
they're
like 'em.
but they're really hard to make.
I feel like my magic system is between hard and normal, or hard and soft.
Bro, you need to like see a doctor for that or something, man.
How do I do this? Hold on. Oh wait, it's down there. I didn't know this before, but this is a very helpful fact. The bench, you can get to the bench right here. You don't have to go through all that bullshit.
Wow. I don't know if I knew that.
It is very helpful, and I felt so stupid because I was stuck on this boss.
Why'd you? Never mind.
What do you mean?
I thought you had to go up for the boss. Sorry.
No, you go. That goes to the door that you exit from the boss. It's a big loop around. This is. I think this is the hardest early game section. Fuck you! I hate these things.
The city's also huge. It's like a really big area. I think one of the biggest, right?
It's big, but it's not hard. It's just tedious because you got like 3 big sections to it, and you gotta like do a bunch of bullshit. This is the hardest spot.
Silas, what are some of your favorite magic systems?
I used to like Star Wars a bit. Star Wars had a cool magic thing. It is just the Force. It's sci-fi. It is magic, but it's like, you know. Anyways, its system was based around the fact that like at the start it was based on anybody could use the Force if they just believe. But I like how it's kind of like sort of genetic, but like also like if you still try, you can be very good at it.
Yeah, so metachlorians are more like your force potential, less than like your force power.
They also made it where like, you know, there's like a chosen one, like, you know, like a characters that are obviously going to be like godlike, but they still get their ass kicked by like every other character. Like Anakin Skywalker, he gets his shit rocked by like every character. Like he gets fucking arm cut off by Dooku. He gets burned alive by Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he's like one of the weakest Jedi ever.
Like we said, he has like a super high metachlorian count, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's just powerful right off the bat. That just means that's his like potential.
It's kind of like written to be like it's a good way to explain it. It's kind of written. It's kind of like a gun in a way, or like fire. You know, like Obi-Wan, he's like a firework because he was able to like contain his power and like use it effectively. Anakin's just more like a flamethrower, and that power kind of gets himself hurt rather than helping him.
I think my favorite character throughout all of the Star Wars series is that blind guy from the.
Because he wasn't even he was force sensitive, but he wasn't like
he wasn't a Jedi.
He can't use powers, but he was still.
He was force sensitive. And the best scene ever written, in my opinion,
one with the force, and the force is with me.
That is my favorite scene ever in any Star Wars media, and nothing will ever surpass that, in my opinion.
There's a lot of Star Wars stuff that I love, but the saddest part is that they keep messing up their power system because you always have to go bigger. You can't make things interesting. They always have to make things like bigger.
That's power creep. It just at a certain point it just feels meaningless.
Oh wait,
it just
we have
feels
the chosen
stupid.
one. We need to make a new chosen one.
Wait, but wait. The chosener one, who's actually the one who's actually gonna bring balance to the force, because we can't think of anything else. Oh, this is a tough battle.
It is.
I took forever to beat this one.
It took me a good bit to beat it.
Whoa.
He has like 2 attacks. It's fine.
I feel like I didn't come here until later. Also. Oh, yeah, I might be thinking of a different battle.
No, there's another boss fight. This is a mini boss fight.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Fuck it, you motherfucker! You fuck up my wife. I fuck it, you.
This took me a bit though because
fuck my Wi-Fi. Fuck
gosh,
you.
Couldn't get the hang of it, dude.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Damien, what's your favorite Star Wars character?
What's his name? Revan. Darth Revan.
Why?
Because his story is really cool and interesting. He's like the only. He's honest. Interesting enough, he's one of the only characters like who has like gone.
Oh my god.
Who's gone like from, like one side of the Force to the other and back again without it feeling like contrived or like stupid or just like done well. So basically, he was a Jedi, right? And then this big great war happened, and he was like, I need to be stronger, so I'm gonna become a Sith just so I can get all the cool Sith powers, and then
It corrupts him in a way.
it does.
Oh, well, I didn't even notice I was on one hit.
It
Oh,
corrupts
shit.
him. He loses his memory.
Wait, I didn't even hit the switch. Damn it!
It corrupts him, and then he later
Oh.
loses his memory, gets trained as a Jedi again, and when he gets his memory back, he's not necessarily evil again, like not at all.
You can kind of choose.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like
It's a game. He's from a game.
it's a video game.
Yeah.
The canonical ending is he becomes a Jedi again, and I just think it's cool because like he becomes like a gray Jedi, and I think the gray Jedi are like the most interesting thing that Star Wars could do, and they never fucking do it.
Is he from
Old Republic.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
He wasn't he like Darth Vader's apprentice or something? Or
No,
was
that's
that
Starkiller.
different? That was
That's
different.
Starkiller.
Yeah, it's Starkiller. You're right.
Revan's like thousands. Of
Which one?
thousands of
Which
years.
from Starkiller from?
Force Unleashed.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The point of his character is the concept was, what if Luke Skywalker was evil?
Yeah.
So they made like a character who's like fucking like
So it's just keeping your
Star
shadow.
Killer
I
was Luke's original last name, even.
yeah.
Look at that.
Come on.
What's your favorite power system, Dave? What about that?
Anything Brandon Sanderson's made is usually pretty cool. He's my favorite author. So like Stormlight Archive, Mistborn are all really cool.
But if you had to choose one,
If I had to choose one, fuck.
Man,
Dragon Ball, no. I hate the Dragon Ball power system.
it's like it's just power creep incarnate.
Yeah, that's like the worst show with power creep.
I definitely think the first like bit is interesting, but then like
You know what's an interesting kind of example of power creep that goes bad? Have you seen any new Ninjago stuff?
No.
So
No, not the recent few seasons at least.
So like the whole point, or like kind of the gimmick now is like, they're ninjas who got more and more stronger to a point where they can't get any more stronger. They get like unlock their true potential like 18 times.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem became like, well, they're not interesting anymore because they're gods now. So what they started doing was they just basically took they're taking their powers away. They just kind of like just took their powers away. Like Kai's not the only like fire elemental now,
Uh-huh.
that's so weird.
and Lloyd, he doesn't have his cool golden power anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing that always bothered me about Ninjago is that they've got like the true potential and all these powers and they never use them. It's never addressed why they don't use them.
Because they lose them apparently.
But it's never explained.
It sometimes is, and it sometimes isn't.
There's like the golden weapons, and those are like outright like taken away from them and then like thrown into space, and then
There's the light swords that never came back.
Yeah.
There was what else is there?
but like what
Technoblades were.
they just what excuse do they have for not using the true potential anymore? They let them like fly around and do cool shit, and then
They never summoned like their elemental vehicles.
all the dragons died.
Yeah, the dragons like fused into one, and they never came back.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It did power creep in a way where it's like, all right, we understand. These characters are too fucking strong.
I think
Let's take away their powers.
I think a funny show with power creep that like isn't real power creep but kind of is One Punch Man.
These
know?
things.
Yeah, because your main character can kill anything in one punch.
Damien,
one
you
hit.
explained it to me where like his like eventually the story kind of becomes about the other characters.
Yeah, the joke is that okay, like for the plot to be interesting, he can't like be there all the time, or else all the conflict is gonna immediately be resolved. So the joke is that all these other characters are having these cool battles, and then he's like spending like most of his time just like running to the place. You know,
I think that's like perfect for what that series is for. You know,
because it is also a comedy series.
it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be meant to be taken seriously.
I didn't know that, but still.
I really like the one of the first big bads of the fucking series is like this fish monster guy, and dude, oh my god, watching some of those scenes is like emotional as fuck. Watching the bike hero dude,
Yeah, you have like these weaker characters who are going up against these like god tier guys.
like okay, the only reason they're going against him is because like if they don't, he's gonna kill every human that's just in that building.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people just have to fucking stand up to him. And then you're just like, oh my god, these guys could literally just die to him in one hit. Why the fuck are they doing this? And there's some people that are just cowering out, but then you have this one guy who literally, his power is just riding a bike. He runs up to him and hits him with the bike. And you're like, oh shit, does that dude actually do something? Because he's like, I'm going to do this for all of mankind. And then the fucking fish guy's looking at him like, what the fuck? And then he just one hits him. And you're just like, what the fuck?
This fight was really hard.
Fucking hate. This fight made me quit the first time I played Hollow Knight.
And then Saitama shows up, one hits the fish monster. You're like, Jesus Christ.
I feel like weak characters in like settings with like super like crazy powers are always like the best ones. Like Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball is like the best character in the whole show because he's literally like as strong as a normal dude, and he's like always just hanging out with like these guys who are like gods essentially, and whenever like he has like a stake in the plot, it's always like so cool, and like I don't know.
Or like Koichi from Part 4, whose stand ability is like really weak at first.
Yeah, or Bike Man, exactly. Like
or Bike Man, yeah.
So whenever you see these characters do something brave, you're like, oh my god. They know that they ain't that. And
like
they're still that.
Okay, this is why Usopp is my favorite Straw Hat.
Yeah, Usopp from One Piece.
He's my favorite original Straw Hat because he's asshole. He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose most of his fights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he like goes against crazy people, but he still fights them. Because, you know, he gets cornered, but still, he still fights them. He could easily just keep running, but he doesn't. He eventually, like, fights them, and it's really crazy. My friend Brian started watching One Piece. I didn't convince him to, but he finally started watching it because he watched the live-action one, and he thought the story was interesting, where it was going. And he was like, dude, I just fucking hate Usopp. I don't get why he's a part of the crew. I'm like, dude, don't. He'll grow on you, man. Trust me. You'll soon love him. I'm like, he's like, no fucking way. He's awful.
Did he? And then he got to Water 7. He's like, "Oh my god!"
He hasn't gotten to Water 7 yet. He just finished the Logark. He said, but no, yeah, he did. But he's like, he was like, dude, I watched the fucking Fishman fight, and I can understand why you like Usopp now. He's like, I personally don't like him, but I understand why you like him. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that sentiment's gonna change soon, buddy. Oh god, dude, Soga King is the funniest shit ever, too, dude. Yeah. God. I love how everyone's just like, who the fuck is this guy? Not everyone. Fucking Luffy and Chopper and Zoro. What did Zoro not realize?
I think Zoro knew.
Yeah.
But maybe Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie didn't know either, I think.
What's also cool is when you have these worlds with all these crazy powers, and then you have these characters who don't have the powers but are still super powerful. Like Zoro, he does not have he doesn't have like a devil fruit, which are like kind of like, oh, if you have one of these, you're strong, basically.
You just get a power for free.
Yeah, you
can't swim anymore, but that's it.
Free epic power. He doesn't have one, and he's going toe to toe against these guys who have these like crazy ass powers, and he's just that good.
Like
that
the giraffe fruit.
I was gonna bring that up. My favorite thing in any media with like a magic system is a guy who's normal and who can kick
ass
like,
still.
Okay,
like Cad Bane is a really fun
dude,
one.
have you seen Jujutsu Kaisen?
No.
Dude, you should watch it. The character Toji, he's fucking insane, dude. He appears in the movie, so you gotta watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so good.
What's the character from Chainsaw Man, the old guy who teaches them how to be badass?
I don't remember his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Doesn't he not have any powers, or am I misremembering?
I'm pretty sure he has like some sort of power for sure, but he kicks their ass without using powers. He just uses a knife.
So yeah, that's just how sick he is.
I think again, dude, just it's crazy just watching, just like seeing all these like different magic systems play out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Something I think every magic-based piece of media can benefit from is I had this idea to make Harry Potter more interesting. Is if they had a guy who hunts down magic users who's just a guy. He's a Van Helsing character. They should do a thing in every like media with magic where there's just one guy who kills magic users, but he can't use magic. That's always interesting.
Did you do that first try?
Yeah.